Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. First up, let's check in on our favorite little wannabe despot, Okeechobee Police Chief Donald Hagen. You'll recall he's the little turd who tried to ban guns but got smacked down by Governor Ron DeSantis, then went into hiding to avoid responsibility for his actions.
Got him in his hidey hole.
He still refuses to take calls, and his office claims he needed time off for death threats. But his office also refused to respond to a public records request from the SAF seeking police reports made in response to death threats received by the police chief. Look, threatening a public official is serious, but so is tearing up the Constitution and wiping your ass with it. I'm not saying anyone was right for threatening him. I'm saying he's a massive pussy.
She said, me too! Mine's as big as a house!
The city's lawyer whimpered that it was just an oopsie and that no actions had actually been taken to enforce the proclamation, but that's not likely to protect the city council and the police chief. Florida law imposes a $5,000 penalty on public officials, personally, who pull off a stunt like this, and excuses like it was just an accident and we didn't enforce it are not going to protect them.
And orders are orders.
Now I wonder, if I walked through Okeechobee with an openly carried handgun, which is illegal in Florida, by the way, what would the chief say if I told him it was a mistake? I didn't know it was illegal. Something, ignorance of the law is no excuse, maybe? Well, if you'd like to tell Chief Hagen to get off his lazy ass and get back to work and that ignorance of the law is no excuse, you can leave a message for him at 863-763-3372. Operators are standing by.
The future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
But hey, it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors, so let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by Franklin Armory. Anything worth shooting is worth shooting twice, and now Franklin is rolling out their new Glock 19 binary slides. With the Model 22 version shipping soon, that means Franklin offers a full-size and compact in both 9mm and Forte. Franklin Armory, those freedom facilitators who brought you twice the fuse with their binary firing system, because it's a scientific fact that bad guys with twice as many holes in them are half as dangerous. So in the unfortunate event you should ever need your firearm for defense, remember, it's math. It can't be wrong. And by Vortex, the new Defender line features a constant on emitter with no flicker and shake awake, so it is always ready. The Defender CCW is impressively compact for daily carry, the ST is a bit larger, and the XL is an absolute beast with one of the largest windows available on a micro red dot. And by Hydra. The Mark 15 Hydra is the most versatile black rifle platform the industry has ever seen. The most you will ever need to convert calibers is a barrel, a bolt, and a magazine well. Hey friends, from time to time I like to take a moment to shine a spotlight on yet another criminal who got less time than Matt Hoover and Chris Irvin. This time, our hero is a Fresno man named Scott Anderson who blew up several cars with pipe bombs.
That sounded like an explosion.
Anderson was also a prohibited possessor and got caught in possession of a handgun. Ironically, the charge which made him a prohibited possessor was for carrying a handgun without consent of the Crown. So take a step back and marvel at the splendor of Calistani gun control laws. This man was not allowed to buy a gun, yet he had one anyway. This man was not allowed to have a gun, yet he made multiple pipe bombs and detonated them in public places.
What's that? It sounded like an explosion.
But Andrew, you say, shouldn't dangerous people like this be prohibited from buying guns? My reply is that he did have a gun despite the law, just like he blew up those cars in total disregard for laws against, blowing up other people's shit. I agree that dangerous people should not have access to guns, or cars, stabby things, or pool chemicals. If a person is violent or disturbed, they should be segregated from society until such time as they are no longer a danger. Is 3 years enough time to get this guy to stop blowing up his neighbors? I don't know, but it is ridiculously unjust that he gets less time than a couple of guys who sold a drawing of a machine gun part. That weirdo governor from Michigan who recently appeared in a weird fetish video involving chips for the Harris campaign just signed a bill which allows school children to narc out their parents. The majority of the bill adds an additional $125 million to the government school system because what could possibly go wrong with throwing literal truckloads of money at failing schools? I mean, if they didn't spend that money on bloated administrations and athletic programs, they just have to set it on fire or something, right? But hidden in the bill is also a provision to earmark $1 million for a new hotline for students to report improperly stored firearms. Sounds like a great idea with the best of intentions. I'm sure there is no way this could be abused by an oppressive authoritarian regime.
That's just the point.
It's entirely anonymous, so there would literally be no way to tell if corrupt government employees misused it as a means to manufacture probable cause. And school children are well known for their maturity, impulse control, and consideration for others, so it's not like some petty 5th grader could call in a report on her friend's house because she sat at another table at lunchtime.
You wouldn't even come to my birthday party.
It's not like some obnoxious neighbor could call in a report because they didn't like the Trump sign in your yard. Unfortunately, they haven't actually set up a hotline yet, so I can't give you the phone number, but as soon as it is available, I will put it out there so, you can not accidentally call it or something. Did y'all see that video of Tim Waltz turbo-fudding with a shotgun? In a transparent and desperate attempt to make Waltz look less like the weird, awkward, effeminate man that he is, the Democrat machine put together a photo op. Unfortunately, Waltz couldn't help but fumble incompetently with his shotgun, eventually giving up before managing to even stuff any shells in it.
Yeah. That's my theory. And it never fits quite right. Never fits quite right. Just not quite right. How do you give it back?
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400. I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trap because it has a kind of their patented thing, a kickoff. So when you get old, it doesn't hurt your shoulder as much.
He never actually fired the shotgun throughout the hunt either. I suppose it's just as well that he didn't load it, because if he did, it might actually have been a federal felony. The Beretta A400 he was carrying can fit 4 shells in the magazine tube plus 1 in the chamber, but the Migratory Bird Act prevents the use of a shotgun that can hold more than 3 rounds if you are within a waterfowl production area, even if you are only hunting pheasant. What do you folks think? Did he have a plug in his shotgun? Did he ever manage to load the damn thing? And was he in one of those protected areas? Comment below. And now for your moment of zen.
Look at all those felonies. Yep, these are all felonies right here. Piece of plastic. This is not a felony though. We have a thermal scope, red dot, flashlight, suppressor, drum magazine, pistol brace. All this, not a felony. But if you take something like this and attach it to it, it's a felony. Not a felony? Felony. Not a felony? Felony. Let's grab our felony and go tease the ATF.
Hey friends, do you like pews and other pew-related things? Would you like to help us keep delivering you pure and American pew propaganda at the low price of free night? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you.